Hello. It's the weekend. You know what that means. It's time for our Swan get together, right? How's everybody doing? Are you doing good? I hope so. It's been an interesting week around here, I have to tell you. Yeah. But Karen is here. Hello, Karen. Glad you're here. And Anne, I love it. Valera is here. And let's see, Katrin, I saw there, and Laura's here. It's been a couple weeks, Laura, right? I don't mean that as like, where have you been? I just mean I've noticed you've been busy at the DMV and here and there and everywhere. And Carol, you finally made a live. Well, I'm glad. I am so glad. And let's see, who did I miss? Carol Burdette is also here. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad y'all are here. Hey, Kim, Cindy Nicholas, and let's see, am I over? Let me find Instagram. Anybody on Instagram, welcome to you also. Hey, Deb, glad you're here. Tish is here. I love it. Drizzly, upstate New York. You know, we've been having a little bit more rain than usual. And my mom, who is now in Ohio for the summer, was telling me they finally got some warm weather there. And I know it was chilly when we were there a couple weeks ago. I was like, yeah, it was cold. I was about to pull out all my knit samples and start putting on my winter sweaters. But we weren't there very long, so that didn't happen. Anyway, I'm just sitting here doing a little bit of knitting, trying to catch up, because I was busy knitting on class samples this week. So I didn't get as much of my regular knitting done, which was very disappointing, but that's all right. It shall resume, right? So let's see what's going on. We have a winner to announce today. I love it. And I did want to tell y'all, so I don't remember last week, I don't think I had finished a Fatal Grace, right? I finished it. It's very good. I'm waiting for the third book in the series. I ordered from, what's that used book site? Thriftbooks.com. Does that sound right? Anyway, I found it it's not the first time I've ordered from them, but I find it odd. Like, so I ordered a handful of books in this series to catch me up to book 8 that I told y'all I had gotten, because I figure I want to at least read through that. And it's weird the way they send the emails. Like, they'll send you multiple emails and then they don't mail all the books in one package. And I'm like, I know they get media mail rates, right? But still, why not ship everything in one package? And we have enough issues with things getting delivered to the wrong house. Don't even ask about my yarn order yesterday that Bo had to drive around the entire neighborhood looking for. I'm not happy with UPS. Anyway, going back to thrift books. So they send, every book is in its own package. I don't think I've gotten any 2 books. It seems to me in a previous order, I got multiple books in one package, but this order, every single book has come and they're all coming at different days. So I don't know, is that because they have multiple warehouses, or is it just as they find them, they ship them? I don't know. I don't know how it works. Obviously, I don't own a big used book company. That would be fun if I did, but I don't. So anyway, in the meantime, I've shown this book to y'all before, The Empress of Cook County, written by Elizabeth Bass Parman. So I'm reading this book in the meantime, and it's okay. It's a very good, like, plot line story, and she keeps it, you know how some people can write about kind of things that you might consider not the best situation, and they can still do it kind of like in a funner, more fun tone. She definitely has that knack. I will say that. But I got to hurry up because I think my third book in the Louise Penny series, Inspector Gamache, is supposed to be here tomorrow, if I read my many emails correctly from thriftbooks.com. Anyway, you're 9th. Okay, hang on a minute. You're 9th in line for her first book. I don't know what is Libby? That sounds, Libby, that's one of the free. Is that one of the free sites? So I use, what's the one that I have on my phone? My phone is in use, so I can't remember. I have a free library app. It's not Libby that I use. I need to, I might start checking them out on that. Save me some money in books. And that's a fabulous series. You've read it too. I knew some of y'all were way ahead of me. Hey, Diane. Hey, Jana. I gonna see you tomorrow? I hope so. I know, Lonnie. Thank God it's Friday. Yeah, yes, Laura, more than happy to take a knitting break. I know. Yes, work is always there, isn't it? It's always there. We can always go back to it for sure. Definitely. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Kim. So Kim said, I love your sweater. This is the early bloomer. Do any of you remember that from a couple of years ago? I think this was a summer top that I made for our make-along or whatever back then. So yeah, let's see, I think it's Riaga and then Berry. And it looks a little bit heathered because it's in a 50% cotton, 50% wool base. But it's very comfortable. I like it. So Tish, it could be because of their warehouses. So they probably do have multiple warehouses. Okay, well, that makes sense. Yeah, too bad. All right, Libby, library books. All right, very nice. I'm gonna have to check out Libby. Why can I not remember the name of my app? I keep wanting to say, oh, it's Hoopla, because I kept wanting to say Hulu, but I'm like, Hulu is TV. It's Hoopla is the app. And I don't know if that's just what because I sign up for it through my library. So I don't know, maybe it depends on the library that you go to as to which app you use, but I've heard of Libby before. I had forgotten about it. But yeah, okay, we're meeting up at the Tin Whiskey tomorrow afternoon. If you're wondering what tomorrow is, tomorrow I will be at Knit and Stitch Boutique down in Cocoa, and from 10 to 4 doing a trunk show, and then also teaching a class on working with hand-dyed yarns. Bo will have to man the booth, man the whatever checkout while I'm teaching the class. So, all right, let's get to it, shall we? First of all, our May Fiber Challenge winner is, are you ready? And this is what the winner gets. They get a fabulous skein of Birds of a Feather on Fluffy Sock and on Fluffy Lace. So, and by the way, I had, it was awesome looking through all of the posts and the hashtags for SCS May Challenge. I was like, I think this is like the most posts I've ever had to go through. It was wonderful. So thank you all so much for participating. The winner is dun, 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 Erica Weniger. I think that's how I say your last name, Erica. And of course, you probably, if you've been watching the lives or the videos, then you probably know she's been working on the Lizzie sweater as her summer top. And it was one of her early posts that got her the win. So Erica, I will be sending this out to you. I'll do that today, actually. So it'll be on its way. So that is yours. And again, thank you all so much for participating. Speaking of the fiber challenges, June's fiber challenge, y'all are knitting in public fiends. I love it so much. I think that's wonderful. I will say, and I know some of you, if you're like posting pictures just because you're kind of participating without caring if you're entered to win the prize, which I have not yet announced. I will do that by next week, I promise. Then that's totally fine. However, if you want your post, because any post that you do with a picture of your knitting or crocheting or whatever, spinning, weaving, can be entered or be an entry, but just make sure, please, that you put the hashtag SCS June Challenge, unless it's in the official thread. If it's in the official thread, you don't have to worry about it. But if you post anywhere else in the Swan City Stitchers group at large, over on Instagram or on Facebook, wherever, then, and you do, I think if you do that, you do have to have a public profile. I have learned. Otherwise, I can't see it unless we're friends. So if you're, and you can even post in groups. I'm in a lot of the knitting groups anyway. So if you post in a group, I should see it there as well. So, and of course, obviously that helps me out if you're using Swan City yarn. But you may not be. You might be knitting in public and not using Swan City yarn because you don't have to for this fiber challenge. So anyway, my point is, don't forget, because I want you to be entered to win. And there's just no way for me to find them all at the end, because I do a search for the hashtag, and then I also go into the official thread and I count up all the comments and then do a random number generator that way. So if you don't use the hashtag and you're posting elsewhere outside of the official thread, then I just won't be able to find it, if that makes sense. So let's see. Actually, Bo has gotten pretty good about answering questions. Bo said, hopefully no one has questions about yarn while I'm teaching the class. But Bo has gotten very good. Like, he knows the samples that I hang up. He knows what yarn and like how many skeins it took, and which they're on little cards that I have anyway. But he's getting very good. So yeah, he says hopefully no one has questions, but he actually does very well. So, all right, what else? Oh, before I forget, Dying to Knit people, we have our last Dying to Knit of this 3-month series next Thursday. And then if you've been thinking about doing Dying to Knit, we'll have our last 3-month subscription coming up. So that will be for the months July, August, and September. And I was looking through my notes. Y'all, I don't remember this. I probably shouldn't admit this. Did we decide on classic television? Was that what the last 3 months was going to be? Did I decide? I don't have it. I don't know what I did to the original listing. I must have changed it or something, because I couldn't find it in the original listing, like what the last 3 months inspiration was going to be. So I think the last 3 months is classic television. So I'm going to I'll figure that out before next week so that you know exactly what our Dying to Knit sessions will be about anyway. And I'll talk more about that next week. If you're interested in trying that out, because I don't remember. Okay, thank you, Lonnie. That I had not selected the shows, and maybe that's where the issue was, because I hadn't selected the shows. It didn't cement it in my mind. So, I'll be picking those shows. Obviously, some fun TV shows. Kim, I don't know, but that sounds good. Awesome. I'm glad. We always have a good time in there anyway. In fact, I was doing a little bit of research on this next Thursday's. Our inspiration is Good and Plenty's. And so I was telling the Dying to Knit people, and then I said to Bo, I said, I have never, I don't think, actually eaten a Good and Plenty. And they're actually licorice on the inside, which back when I could eat them, now I'm pretty sure they have some non-Carolyn friendly ingredients in them, because most of them do, like corn syrup or something like that, or even soy. Well, licorice would have gluten probably. And so I was thinking, I'm surprised back when I did eat that stuff that I don't remember ever trying a Good and Plenty. So, and then Bo was like, do they even sell them anymore? And I said, yeah, I found some online. So I know they do. And I think I saw them at the movie theater, although it's been quite some time since I've been at the movie theater. Anyway, so I'm going to see if I can find some today at the grocery store when we go get groceries. We shall see. You're not a fan of black licorice, Lonnie. See, I love that. I found some gluten-free black licorice that I can have. I think it's the Yum brand. And I order me some of those. I have them on subscription, actually. And Morgan will steal them too. We like our black licorice. Anyway, she likes any kind of, which is funny because I'm not a big chewy candy type of person. Like if I'm going to eat sweets and stuff like that, it's usually chocolate, some form of chocolate that I can have. But yeah, I'll eat me some black licorice that's gluten free. All right, you guys, I have so many things to show you. You all have been posting. I love it so much. I can't tell you. It does my heart good to see all of these. Now, not a lot of black licorice fans, huh? Oh, yeah, I know black licorice is not that popular, and some are stronger than others. Like even the Yum brand that I get, there was one bag that I almost couldn't finish. Fortunately, they're pretty small bags, but is it anise they put in there? Anise, and whatever it is that gives it that black licorice taste. It was so strong, like it kind of made my eyes water. And I was like, oh, I hope this was just a bad bag. But I haven't had that happen since. So apparently that was the case. Salted licorice. Oh, goodness, Faith. I'm going to have to check that out. Oh, Iceland and Norway black licorice. I bet that was good. Everything's better over there. All right. So you did like the Good and Plenties as a kid. Okay, good deal. Yay, Karen and I. That's right. You and I. We're black licorice fans together. All right, going back to business. Let's do this. So first up, Anne showed her picture. This is her finished Fiorellino. How good does it look? I'm curious, Anne, I don't remember if I asked you, do you do gauge swatching? She did hers in peach tea, and then the finishing touches there are in, I know this, bottle green. And then, because one summer top is not enough, and also started on the extra light bright. And I know she's got some of the colors she's using. In fact, she posted a second picture. Check this out. I know she's got confetti and sprinkles and sparklers in there. And then there were two other colors from before, which were, I'm trying to remember, a mad spatter, and then summer something, summer breeze, summer days. I don't remember. Anyway, another great example of an awesome fade here. I love it so much. Nicely done, Anne. It looks like she's practically done. All right, and then Everdina, here she was. I think she at this point had like 3 more inches to go. And this is her Fiorellino on Purple Leaf Plum. And then, ta-da, there it is. And that's not even blocked yet, y'all. How awesome is that looking? It's fantastic. I love it so much. And then Mary Ellen posed so wonderfully in her Fiorellino. This one she did in vintage, which looks so good. I love it so much. And then Katrin is doing this summer top, which is called, I knew it at one time. Let's see, is it on there? Yes, Tin Roof. Now, this is what's interesting about this pattern. If you look at the pattern page, I don't remember if the designer did it this way or if other people just did it. I think the designer may have done it as well. Those panels that look like they're different colors, on the designer's page, you see some sample projects where they are done in different colors, those vertical panels you see. Well, Katrin did not do that. Instead, she had multiple skeins of charcoal, and she simply used that, how do I say it? The natural tendency of hand-dyed yarns to be different from one skein to the next. Well, she had one skein that was darker than the other, and so she simply used that in this manner. Rather than using 2 different colorways, she did a subtle thing, and obviously that's something that the more you work with hand-dyed yarns, the better you are. And this is, I think it's finished at this point. How awesome does that look? So nicely done, Katrin. And obviously Katrin does a lot with hand-dyed yarns. That is, yeah. So anyway, moving on. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous. And then here is Erica I thought it was funny on this post. She said, glad I caught up on the live and learned I still have until Friday to post pics for the May challenge. And so she posted yet another picture. And this is the Lizzie sweater. So, and she's got the main colorway that you're seeing there is sprinkles. All right. Sharon also cast on an easy or extra light bright. And I believe she started with sprinkles there on hers. So very nice. And then Tammy posted this picture for us. This is two birds and a bunny. She's doing it looks like 2 at a time vanilla socks. And then she's made the comment, there's definitely more splashes of color on the one than the other. And she's right. One of the wonderful idiosyncrasies of hand-dyed yarn. And actually, we'll talk a little bit about that sort of thing in my class tomorrow. All right. Gorgeous, by the way, Tammy. And then this is Lonnie. She is doing, these are called the Outfoxed Mitts by Erica Huser, and she's using burnt butter and swan white. It's gorgeous. I love those two colors together. The burnt butter, at least in this picture, is kind of giving that swan white a different tone, which is just gorgeous. I love it. And Lonnie is also working on the Marie Celtic Cabled Cowl by Marley Bird, and she's using the colorway Forest. So it looks like, Lonnie, that there's some sort of, is that like a provisional cast on going on there? I'm just curious because it looks like you've got some other colored yarn going on there. So I was curious. I looked up the pattern page. Oops, hang on. Let me get rid of that. The picture, not get rid of the project, the picture. But yeah, I looked on the project page and it's a gorgeous pattern. So Susan, Anne, sorry, it was funny. I was reading Susan's comment and then Anne's comment like filled its spot. Oh, let's see. Susan, I used to eat the Good and Plenty's or maybe black licorice now, not eating sugar. Good for you. Yeah, I try to watch my sugar. I tend to be an all or nothing person. I'll hold off Bo knows about this. I'll hold off for a while. And then when things get stressful, then I start snacking after dinner. Isn't that that's the worst time after dinner? I don't know about y'all. That's when I want my sugar. Bring it. Anyway, okay. And you do gauge swatch, but it never matches. See, it never matches your project gauge. Yes. Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one. All right. And then Lonnie, yes, provisional cast on because it will be an invisible join at the end. I like it. Okay. Very nice. So if you're thinking about doing that pattern, you got to know what you got to look forward to. Okay. So let me show you. I haven't made much progress. I told you I've been busy knitting. I already put my samples up for the class, but I was knitting up some little swatch samples for my class that I'm teaching. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I'm dropping stitches. Oh, no. Got to pick them up. Fortunately, it's stockinette, so it's not like it's going to be difficult if they drop down. Where's my stitch stoppers? Okay, I tried this on last night, and it literally is like right here on me, which it's where it should be. But sometimes the armhole is bigger or whatever. So I wanted to try it on and see where I was at, see if I needed to be doing any side decreases or anything. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to. It fits well. And I think after blocking, it will be nice and relaxed and it will be a perfect fit. So now I just have to decide how long that I want it to be. So I'll have to look through my closet and figure out what pants or shorts I'll be wearing it with. And then that will determine, I'll probably just do like a regular length, obviously not cropped. So anyway, that's that. And then the next thing that I'm going to start, I didn't realize how close we were to July 4th. You know how these things just like pop up and you're like, oh yeah, July 4th is coming. So, and as a dyer, obviously I should be more aware of this, but I don't know if any of you remember this from last year, this project, this whip. I finished one sock. These are the Mermaid Avenue socks by, Summer Lee. And I think her pattern actually brings that down, that awesome pattern down across the foot. And I don't remember, since I knit this last year, was I just in a hurry to get done? I did not continue that down on the foot. I just did, I did stockinette stitch. And this is in the King Charles colorway. So I did one sock with Spirit of Freedom, and then I'm doing the other with Spindle Prick Red. So anyway, now that we're back to the summertime, I'm going to get back to knitting on these, and I think I'll dye up some more of this colorway because it seemed to be pretty popular, and I love it. I love that it's not, it's not traditional like red, white, and blue. There's a little bit of that off. It's a pinky brown. Bo said it we were sitting. Our living room is I need to find some better lighting for me to knit with at night. But if I'm just knitting, a relatively easy pattern, it's okay. But anyway, I pulled these out the other night and he was like, is that pink under there? And I said, no, it's a light tan color. So anyway, I'll be working on that now that, like I said, it's summertime. Who knows? Maybe I'll actually get them done this year by July 4th and wear them. I thought about gifting them to a friend of mine because she's traveling up north, she's in Minnesota, I think, and this summer. And I thought about gifting them to her because we have the same size feet, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to be selfish with these. The only thing is the pattern does call for a heel flap, and I do like to do a heel flap every now and then to kind of keep in practice, even though the heel flap is not my favorite heel to do. So yeah, I might have to do another heel flap, but that's all right. I don't mind. Next time though, I'll probably input the, what's the short row heel that we like? I can't remember the name of it. I know y'all know. Linda may not be on here. Linda is the queen of that heel. I know, Lonnie, Christmas in July is around the corner. I have some exciting things coming up, just so you know. Hey, Sharon, glad you're here. Karen says, my gauge swatch is the sweater. If I'm off, I frog and start over. Yeah, I used to be a little, I didn't judge people, but I used to be a little bit like, I gauge swatch. But, with the problems that I've been having with my gauge swatch, not, that tension not being the same as my knitting tension, I'm a little bit, I don't know, and I recognize that everybody has a system that works for them. I remember Teresita, it was quite some time ago, we were talking about how she figures out whether I believe she said she does a gauge swatch, but then how she's off, she determines like how she'll do it. And I remember thinking, what? That doesn't make any sense to me. But the woman's an engineer, so obviously she knows what she's talking about, and I'm the one who doesn't. So, we all have our system that works for us. And so I can totally respect that. If your sweater is the gauge swatch, absolutely. Okay, Lonnie, she does make that mermaid pattern optional going down the front. That's good. I would have probably done what I wanted anyway, but Sharon, let's talk about that. We have not gotten there yet, but we will get there. That's funny, Susan. A fashion podcaster says the ladies of a certain age should not be wearing crop tops no matter what. Okay. So I will say this. I watch a couple of different fashion influencers, especially for those that are for more mature women. And one that I watched, when I say I watched, because I haven't seen her in a while. Why have I not seen her? I'll have to think about that. Where do I watch her? I have so many. I have certain people I follow on YouTube, certain people I follow on TikTok, and also Instagram. This one, I think she was on YouTube, maybe. Anyway, she said she was talking about cropped a certain length of pant, like a wide leg crop that it just, she was like, it's just not, honestly, on any body type, it doesn't look great. However, she said, you should always wear what feels good to you. And so I kind of appreciate that. Like I just recently saw a lady on Instagram. I don't know if I followed her or not, but she's obviously an older, mature woman. And she looks great. And she's got all these tattoos all over. And one of the posts that she was doing, because I was looking through her feed, and apparently people give her a hard time about her tattoos, but they look great. And I was like, oh, so that's what, maybe I won't look, you don't see a lot of older people with tattoos. And so I'm always like, no, no, am I going to just look wrinkly and weird when I get older? I don't know. But this lady, she looked great. And I was like, oh, wow, she's older and looks amazing with her tattoos. So, but I get that not everybody can carry that look. So I think it all has to do with your personality, what you put out there, and what you do with it. I'm not a crop top person in the sense that I'm not going to go around showing off my belly, at least not now. Give me 5 years. Who knows? Maybe I'll change. You never know. I might be wearing crop tops for y'all. However, I do like them with certain high-waisted pants. In fact, or with a shirt underneath them. Both of the ranunculus shirts that I've made are more of a crop, but I always wear them with a white shirt underneath just because that's how I like to wear them. I think they look cool. And by the way, speaking of, yeah, I never did tell y'all last week what I want my next summer top to be. I know I still got a ways to go on the Fiorellino, but now that I'm going to be back to knitting, I am going to do it with, hang on, I gotta hold down my skirt. Let me show you. I'm going to do a ranunculus. Do I have this right? No, I don't. I think Bo was the one. Yeah, it's this. Bo was the one who helped me pick it out. You'd think I would know, but I haven't dyed up my yarn yet. So this is what I'm going to do it with. I'm going to do it with Swan White, probably on Swanky Sock, and I'm going to do it with fluffy lace on sprinkles, or sprinkles on fluffy lace. I'm going to make, did I say this? A ranunculus. I'm going to make it, I think, cropped again, and this time it's going to be a half sleeve because I've got 2 dresses that I can, and they're casual dresses that I can wear in the summertime. And I think that this would look cute with both of them. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I like it. I like it. That'll be my 3rd ranunculus. Okay. Shadow wrap. Thank you, Deb. Fleagle. I have not done a Fleagle heel yet. I'll get there. Hey, Karen. We had 3 Karens on here today. Oh, let's see. What did Faith? Sharon, keep the socks. You'll need them for New York. That's right. Hang on. It's like I scroll and then half my comments go away. Yes, I do block gauge swatch. Yep. We had a whole conversation about it. And I basically, hey, Karen's coming tomorrow. I'm so excited to see you, Karen. And Erica, okay, before I get distracted, I'm going to get distracted again, but Erica, you need to go back and watch the beginning because there's a little bit of a surprise for you. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't remember. Gauge swatching. Yes. So basically the point is that my tensioning when I do a gauge swatch, and I do it exactly the way I'm supposed to, at least to the best of my ability. And my tensioning is different. I noticed that I literally tension I have a tighter tension when I'm knitting on my project than when I'm gauge swatching. I don't know what that's about. All right, so what's new in the shop? Okay, Sharon mentioned gradient color cakes. And yes, I did 2 colors. Here they are in the cake. This one is called Hot Blooded. Y'all, any Foreigner fans? The kids and I were singing it last night. I won't sing the song to you, but the song is Hot Blooded. So, and it starts with this deep cherry red, and it looks like there's more of the cherry than the orange, but I think that's just the way that it's caked, because it inside the cake is, a little tighter than the outside. But then you go to like a burnt orange and then a deep mocha brown is in the center. And you can obviously pull from the center or the outside, depending on which color you want to start with on that one, obviously. And the same with this one, which this one is Boys of Summer, which is a soft peony pink, and then it goes to a deep purple, and then there's a blue in there it's kind of a mix between like a turquoise and a royal blue. Here it almost looks like an aquamarine blue, but it's a little bit deeper than that. So that's Boys of Summer. Okay, so the fiber content is 75-25 merino nylon. They're dyed up on a sock blank first, and then I cake them from that. And so because of that, it gives them a natural, softer, almost heathered look a little bit to some of them. And so what can you do with them? Well, I actually have a couple of patterns to show you. Just to give you an idea. But one of the number one things that I think of is any one skein project. Actually, you can do any multi-skein project, but if you're just wanting to try it out, any one skein shawl, I'm thinking of like my Be Simple variations. That would look awesome. But another one that I have, let's see. Oh, goodness. My eyesight is not good enough to see. Let me see which one I have. That's not the one I wanted. All right. So for example, here, is it this one? No, this one, which is called Vamping. And so that one is exactly it's one skein. It's a one skein shawl. I don't know how well the picture is showing up for you all, but it was basically designed with a gradient yarn, and that is by Jennifer Dessau, and I'll put that information in the show notes. This is a fingering weight yarn. I only have fingering at this point just because that's the sock blanks that I have are fingering, so I'll have to look for other weights available in the future, but for now I was kind of playing around, and so that's what I have is fingering weight, and it's 463 yards in one cake that you get. So here is another pattern. This is the Inara wrap by Amba. Now this one uses you're going to use multiple skeins because it calls for 1,000 to 1,500 yards. So there, what you could do is you could get the same colorway in multiple skeins and then do them like back to back, one way or another, like on both ends of your shawl could go, dark to light or light to dark. Or you could get multiple gradients and put them together. Or you could also pick a contrasting or coordinating color of yarn that you put in between and almost treat it like stripes. So you could do that, or you could do like one half of the shawl would be in one colorway, and then the other half of the shawl would be in using up your gradient skein. So it just kind of depends on how many skeins you're wanting to work with in the gradient and what kind of colors you're wanting to end up with in your end result. Now here's another one. This is the Summer Breeze shawl by, is it Nicola Green? I think that's probably how you pronounce it. And again, this one would use multiple skeins because it calls for 1,000 yards. So again, you could do the same colorway and going, like from dark to light or light to dark, back to back. Or you could also, like I said, use another colorway so that you have that the gradient in the middle or on the outside. It just kind of depends on what you're going for. Now, this one here is called the Gradient Cake Cowl. This one, it only needs 190 to 200 yards. So you would want to, it doesn't look like a very big cowl. So with this one, I would suggest you either add repeat so that you can see the full gradient. Actually, that's what I would do. Is I would do more repeats because I would want to see all the colors in the gradient, but that's just me. So another thing that you can do, what I love in a gradient or for a gradient is using it as color work. So if you're doing a color work sweater or shirt, using your gradient as the contrast color. And that way, as like here, if I had done it here in the early bloomer, you would see it either going from light to dark or dark to light, something like that. I think that's cool. And obviously you can do anything. This is even sock yarn. So you could also, you could knit socks out of it. You know, you can knit a sweater. I saw some sweater patterns that used gradients, but obviously it's the designer doesn't have to have that in order for you to use it yourself. Hey, Carol, I see Carol over there on Instagram. Got a lot of Carols today too. I like it. All right. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I will do my best to help. Let's see. Deb, the Flegel is cool, but it can make the front of the sock long. Oh, and for some people, it will bunch up. Interesting. So it's good for people with a larger heel diagonal. Okay. So kind of that big, y'all don't want to see my feet. I took off my nail polish. I know, and it's summertime. Like I should, yeah. I need a pedicure. That's what I need. Anyway, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And I am not one of those people. So I don't think a Flegel heel. I will probably do one at some point just so I can say that I did. Maybe I'll try one for Bo. A Flegel heel on one of his socks. He may not appreciate that, but hey, I'm the one doing the knitting. So you get what you get. You don't pitch fit. All right, what else is new in the shop? Let's see. I've been looking for some colors to put on Fluffy DK because Fluffy DK has been getting more and more popular at festivals and trunk shows. So Happy Hour, it looks a little washed out here. But one of the things that I love about the Fluffy, it's the alpaca really, because I see it on Fluffy lace as well, is that the colors always settle in these weird, tonal different, like it's like it sets down differently and you see all these different tonal variations, almost as though I had poured over different colors of purple, and I didn't. Like literally it's one concentrate and I just stick it down in, but you get all these wonderful tonal differences and it just knits up very cool. So that's that Happy Hour. And then also they're on minis, Trustee Sock minis only, is Raspberry Lemonade. I did it for a designer recently, and so I just did a batch of them. And so they're in the shop. So, which I don't do a lot of, well, I think in general, most people do, you know, tonal solids on their mini skeins because that's usually what you want. So if you are looking for variegated mini skeins, this is a fun one to have in your stash for sure. All right, what is going on? What else? Let's see. I showed you that. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but you never know. I mean, I might be. So tomorrow, as I said, I'll be at Knit and Stitch, and then I'll be back there again in July, mid-July, for a Christmas. Just doing like a mini trunk show of Christmas colorways. And Dottie has asked for a self-striping yarn, Christmas and Hanukkah themed. I don't know. I got to be honest. I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see what comes of that. Keep an eye out for, at some point, I'll do a pre-order for the Advent calendar. I think I told the Dying to Knit people what it's going to be. I can't remember if I've told y'all or not. What I decided to do is 4 sock sets or sock bundles, a full skein and either 1 or 2 minis. I haven't decided that yet. Anyway, and then you can open them one on each Advent Sunday or whenever, any 4 days out of the month of December that you want. So those will go on pre-order. I don't know, at some point. If not before, then it'll be in Christmas in July. And yeah, and then at the end of July, I will be at She Sells Yarn. We're doing the botanical scarf dyeing, and I will also be teaching the working with hand-dyed yarns class there as well. Yeah, I think that's it. So do y'all have weekend plans? I have got a little bit of shipping to finish up, and I have got yarn to pack up for tomorrow. And then I have groceries to get. Bo and I are heading out to get the groceries. I don't know if I've told y'all, that's what we do on Friday afternoons, later in the day. Once shipping is done and everything else, then we go out and we get groceries for the week. So yeah, I think that's it. If you haven't subscribed, then I invite you to do so. And you might want to, if you haven't signed up for the newsletter on my website, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there's a place that you can sign up for the newsletter. So you're the first one to get all the deets about everything. All right. I hope that y'all have a great weekend. Thank you so much for watching and for shopping. I appreciate it always. Yeah, y'all are the highlight of my week. So I hope that you have a good weekend, and I hope you're not getting too hot. It's definitely been warm here. So stay cool and enjoy your summer, and enjoy all your fiber crafting. And I will see you next week. All right, here. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.